Hi everyone and welcome back to a new video on realizations. If you had met 20-year-old Ria, she would have told you that get good grades because that's the answer to everything. Study hard, get into a good college, get a good job, and your life would somehow be sorted. And the funny thing is, I did all of these things. I got into NIT, where I did my engineering, worked in the industry, then got into a good B school, ticking all the boxes that society expected me to. But somewhere along the way, I realized that nobody had taught me the skills that would determine my success in the real world outside the classrooms. And if you're like me in your 20s, I feel that we are living in one of the toughest times in the human history. Not because things are harder right now than before, but because nobody really knows the rules anymore. The world is changing so fast. The degrees that guaranteed a very secure job aren't that secure anymore. The career paths that worked for our seniors may not even exist by the time we get there. And with AI, everything is changing so fast that most of us don't have the pace to keep up with it. Still, every day I see so many people obsessing over the same questions. What degree should I pursue? What are the jobs that I should do? And of course, these are important questions and these matter, but I think we are still missing a very important point because your job and your degree will not define the coming years as much as your skills, your habits, and the mindset that you build in your 20s. I think the people who will thrive in the next decade won't necessarily be the smartest people. They'll be the people who will have few high value skills that will remain relevant and valuable no matter where the world changes or how the world pans out in the coming few years. So today I wanted to share such 9 valuable skills with you. Some of these skills are the reason why I've gained whatever little success I have, and some are the skills that I'm actively working on building. And I genuinely believe that if you work on these skills, they'll give you an unfair advantage that is so much required in this changing world. So let's get straight into the list. The first skill is the ability to focus and to do deep work. And I genuinely believe that focus is becoming a superpower right now. In these distracting times, it's so easy to just scroll and have such short attention spans, and it's becoming harder and harder to find people who can put aside things and do deep work. Here I'm talking about two kinds of focus. First is the ability to say no to distractions, and the second is the ability to stay deeply focused and engaged in what you're doing for an extended period of time. Steve Jobs once said that people think focus means saying yes to the thing that you've got to focus on. But that's not what it means at all. It means saying no to the 100 of the other good ideas. Most of us fail not because there is lack of opportunities. We fail because there are way too many. And this also reminds me of a story that's very famous about Warren Buffett. So when one of his drivers came to him and asked him what's the formula to success, Buffett, he asked him to make a list of 25 of the most important things that he wants to achieve, that he wants to do in his life, and then strike out everything other than the most important top 5. And then what happens to the remaining 20, you ask? Avoid them at all costs. That's what he said. Because the other 20 items, they are not harmless distractions. They are the reasons that are most likely to pull you away from the most important 5. Now, second is deep work and focus when you are at a task. And like I said, the world right now is filled with all kinds of distractions. Your phones, they are engineered to have you hooked. And therefore, the ability to sit down undistracted with focus for 60 to 90 minutes at a stretch, that's becoming a superpower. And here I would like to recommend this one book called Deep Work by Cal Newport. And I've taken away a lot of important ideas from this book, but one of the most important idea that I want to leave you today with is that deep work is becoming increasingly rare and increasingly valuable. Every notification wants your attention, every app wants your dopamine. But your life is usually determined by what you can do consistently when nobody's watching, not what you do occasionally when you're motivated. The compound effect looks boring while it's happening, but magical when you look back. The next skill is sales and persuasion. Now, before you skip this section thinking that sales is only for salespeople, no, it's not. Believe me. Think closely. Most often, every successful person we know is most likely good at selling. Founders sell their products, managers sell their ideas, consultants are selling their recommendations, creators selling attention. And the biggest misconception is that sales is just talking. No, sales is actually listening. A good salesperson or the best salespeople, they don't just start with the solution. They start with the problem, trying to understand how is it that they can help or their product can help, asking all kinds of questions to first understand the pain points and then to provide positive value and how their product or their service can solve that pain point. Naval Ravikant has a very famous quote: learn to build, learn to sell. If you can do both, you will be unstoppable. And I think that's one of the most valuable career advices I've heard, which is why I always encourage people to build something, to start side hustles, a project, a product, a service, anything at all that you can do with your capabilities. Because in this world of AI, where building is getting easier and easier with AI, it's your sales skill which will determine your success, your revenue, and how far you will go. And that's the reason why I found Scalar School of Business to be so interesting. Their 18-month postgraduate program in management and technology is built around this core idea of practical learning and not just classroom learning. Within months of joining, the program students with no prior business or sales background actually built a D2C brand from scratch and then went to the malls of Bangalore to sell it to real customers, amassing a revenue of 15 lakh rupees. The curriculum also includes product building, sales, AI analytics, marketing, and business fundamentals taught by industry practitioners. What I personally like is the idea that you're not just studying a case study from 10 years ago, you're pitching GTM strategies to people like the founder of Mokobara and the CMO of Practo on actual problem statements that the company is working on at real time. These students may not go to sales after their MBA, but they will be much better off at selling strategies to clients, selling ideas to management, or selling products to real customers because they've actually done it before. They've actually done it while studying. So if you're exploring MBA alternatives or newer business programs, the admissions for the next batch is closing soon, and I've linked all the necessary details in the description of the video so you can check it out yourself. Now let's get back to the skills. The next skill is communication and storytelling. If I could choose just one single skill from this entire list, it would definitely be communication, because every opportunity in my life improved once my communication improved. Interviews, presentations, interacting with leaders, content creation, networking, all of it. Warren Buffett once said that improving your communication could increase your value by 50%. Think about it. If somebody offered you an investment that would automatically increase in value by 50%, you take it instantly, right? Yet most of us spend so much time working on our technical skills and no time working on this important skill on how to communicate. Many people believe that communication is just speaking. No, it's writing, listening, presenting, simplifying ideas, storytelling. You could be the smartest person in the room and still lose to someone who explains ideas better than you. And I'm sure all of us have seen this happen to ourselves in schools, colleges, corporate world so many of the times. I wanted to share a few of the things that have helped me communicate better, though I'm nowhere where I want to be, and I'm constantly myself trying to improve through these ideas. Reading aloud passages, like read a book, open anything and just read aloud. It helps you articulate better. The next is practicing speaking with the pen in the mouth. It again improves your pronunciation and articulation. The next thing is recording yourself while speaking. So I do these 1 minute off the cuff challenges. I'll link the website here in the description. What happens is you spin a wheel, a random topic comes, you get time to think, and then every day for 1 minute you have to speak off the cuff without any practice. This helps you speak impromptu, and I'm doing that. I'll also attach one of my videos here, one of my absolute initial videos where I was trying to speak. I've gotten slightly better, but definitely an exercise that you should try out. And every time you see this recording of yourself, look at the kind of mistakes you're making, the filler words, pausing too much, speaking too fast, blabbering a lot, or just wrong pronunciations. See, point down things and then work on them. You could also use ChatGPT or Claude to give you feedback on your communication. I do that a lot as well. So instead of just speaking and you evaluating yourself, you ask Claude or ChatGPT to evaluate you and give you feedback on what are the most common types of mistakes that you're making. The next skill is learning AI and building with AI. Because let's address the elephant in the room. All of us are afraid of where the AI world is headed. Will our jobs be relevant? Will AI take my job? But I think the better question to ask is, how can AI AI make me 10 times better at my job. Because that's what the best professionals in any field are doing. They are using AI to automate repetitive tasks and amplifying the tasks that they do better. Research better, analyze faster, build faster. Because according to an article that I was reading, the winners in the AI era won't necessarily be the people who will write the best prompts. They will be the people who can combine their own expertise with AI. Marketers using AI to make better, consultants using AI, doctors using AI, students using AI to learn better and build more. And that is why in this era, judgment will become more and more critical. How you think, how you see, how you find out what's missing in the answer that you're getting, how you question more, how you counter its ideas. These skills will become more and more important. The next skill is content creation. And I may be biased here, but content creation really changed my life. Not because of the followers, but because of the leverage it gave me. And also because of the skills that it forced me to learn. It forced me to learn storytelling, to write better, to communicate better, to package ideas better, and to understand people and psychology better. Also, the sheer power of the opportunities content can get you or where it can reach is just immense. Imagine me sitting in Bangalore getting messages from people in Dubai or the USA because they saw my content and they connected and they just decided to reach out or give me opportunities. I really have received opportunities that I could not have imagined if it was not for content. And I get it, the first 100 pieces you put out, be it writing or speaking in front of the camera, they will be pathetic, they will be bad. That's how I started, and sometimes I still feel I'm so bad at it. But it slowly improves. It's a muscle that builds with more and more reps. That's the price you have to pay. The next skill is networking and relationship building. John Ron famously said, "You are the average of the 5 people you spend most time with." And honestly, I've seen examples of it in my own real life. Success is just about hard work. I can grind alone, I can achieve my goals in solitude, I don't need anyone else. But as you grow older, you realize that networks and genuine relationships mean so much, if not more. And I'm not asking you to make connections or network just for referrals or for getting favors, but also because life in itself is hard and you need good people around you to make your life better. One of the biggest lessons my MBA taught me was that the quality of your relationships matter more than the quantity. I may have gotten just 5 good friends out of my MBA, but they are the people I can rely to. They are the people who cheer me on, who motivate me, who push me. I look at them and I am inspired. Because honestly, having just a few people who genuinely support you are worth far more than hundreds of surface level connections. So yeah, that's what I ask you also to do. Support people online, encourage people, let the people who inspire you know that they inspire you, because sometimes all of us need these words of encouragement. Send out cold emails, not just for referrals and for work, but also sometimes for no agenda at all. Build relationships before you need them and show up for others the way you would want them to show up for you. The next skill is critical thinking. We are moving to a world where not just information, but even intelligence is now becoming abundant with AI. And in such times, thinking, genuine critical thinking, that's becoming rare. The algorithms are teaching us how to think. The influencers are teaching you how to think. News channels are teaching you how to think. And therefore, it becomes so much more important to have original thought, to be able to dissect ideas on your own and to understand if it's actually true or I'm just being asked to think a certain way because of someone else. Because increasingly, we are all consuming the same opinions on the internet. And then the real skill becomes to pause and ask yourself, do I actually believe in this, or is it that I've just heard this multiple times and now I am believing it to be true? Critical thinking is the ability to evaluate information independently without bias. Because now when AI can give you all kinds of answers, human judgment and value is becoming more and more important with each passing day. The next skill is financial literacy. Nobody taught me this in school. Nobody taught me this during my engineering times. The first time I formally got introduced to it was because I took an elective on personal finance during my MBA. And I know that's rare. And I know so many of you would have never had the opportunity to take a class in personal finance. Yet, money dictates almost all areas of our life. And yet, we are not taught about this in school or colleges. To learn budgeting, learn investing, learn taxes, learn compounding, learn asset allocation. Warren Buffett became one of the richest people on the planet, not because he found one magical stock, but because he learned investing early and got years to compound the decades of his hard work. You have one advantage today that you will never have again in your life, and that's time. So start investing early, Find out what are the different kinds of financial instruments, what is your risk appetite, and which financial instrument therefore works for you. Build a really strong emergency fund. Start your SIPs. Understand how banks work, how markets work, because you'll soon realize that financial stress kills freedom and financial literacy builds options that you'll really need soon. The final skill that I wanted to cover in this video is one that most people usually ignore before it's too late, and I'm talking about health. When you're 20, you feel so powerful, like you can survive on bare minimum sleep, you can eat junk, whatever you want, you can take as much stress as you want and still be okay. But this does not sustain for long if you are damaging your body. Your 20s are when you're building the foundations for your 30s, for your 40s and beyond. Because no matter how invincible you feel right now, your body does keep score of how you're treating it. And if you don't treat it right, the bill will arrive when it's meant to. I recently came across this idea from Peter Attia called the Centenarian Olympics. And the idea is simple. Train yourself today so that the 70-year-old you could still do all the things that matter. That you would be able to walk comfortably, travel, play with your children, climb, and just enjoy everyday life. And for that, you'll have to take care of your mental health, physical health, and emotional health right now when it's easy, when you can build habits. Because think about it, becoming super successful becomes meaningless if you're too exhausted or too tired or too sick to even enjoy it. I think a lot of people in our 20s secretly feel that they are running out of time. I know because I feel that too. Like everyone else has figured it out, they have their life sorted, and I'm the only one behind. But if there's one thing I want you to take from this video, it's this. You're not behind, you are building. These years are not a test, they are a training. Every book you read and every conversation you have, every skill that you learn, every mistake you survive, it's all becoming part of the person that you will be years from now. So stop obsessing over having a perfect plan, having a perfect life, and instead focus on becoming the kind of person who can thrive no matter what the world is around them. Because like I said, your 20s is not about becoming the one thing. It's about becoming capable of many things that you're going to be doing in the years ahead. All of these 9 skills that I mentioned, they will all compound. If you build them now, they will give you the fruits in your 30s, 40s, not just now. If you're in your 20s, let me know in the comments which is the skill that you are most actively working to build right now. And if you think I missed any of the most important skills according to you, please add them in the comments. And till then, like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Till then, all the very best and bye-bye.